Hey y'all, it's your girl Gemini Jazz with House of Chiron, and we are back with another episode of Galactic Gossip. So, thank you for joining and tuning into my channel. This week, we have a few things to go over and some pretty intense energy also. But before we dive into this week's forecast, I would like to first say thank you to all of the newbies who are here for the first time. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and if you are returning to my channel, welcome back. What's up, fam? I hope y'all are having a wonderful week, and I hope your week ahead is going to be just as beautiful. So, without further ado, I have just two quick announcements. We have the Trauma Conscious Yoga Full Moon Healing Circle that will be kicking off for the month of May. We also still have the event for April occurring on the 26th of April. So that is going to be happening for the full moon in Scorpio. If you have not gotten your tickets, hit that description box below. All the information, links, and all that can be found there. You still have time to sign up for Monday night's event. And we already have the date set and all of the tickets ready for purchase for May's event also. Last bit of announcements. I still have the Celestial City open for membership. So if you have not signed up for that, go ahead and join us by hitting that description box and looking at all those links, and they'll take you right on to it. So that's just it. I'm going to go ahead and summarize that. Now, let's get into this week's forecast because we have a lot to go over. So first and foremost, starting on April the 25th. We're going to start from April 25th and discuss all the way through the end of the month, April 30th. So, this very last week of April, we have some intense energy. We have a planet going retrograde. So, on the 25th, Venus is in Taurus and it's going to be squaring up with Saturn in Aquarius at 12 degrees. And so, this is going to be giving us like those loner vibes because Aquarius rules autonomy. And that can kind of make you feel like you want to kind of do your own thing or focus in your own lane kind of energy. And when you have Venus involved, that's like about our relationships, our partnerships, the things that we find valuable, also our pleasure senses. And when you pair these two things with this square energy that we have, then it can bring some challenges or it can bring some difficulty in how we feel and also within like our values and within our partnership. So it's important for us during this time to explore our sense of originality as well as tapping into our difference with the Venus square Saturn. There might be like some restrictive energy or some restrictive feelings when it comes to the dynamics of our partnerships and what we need to really focus on or allow to come up to the surface in order to change, so that way we can still be free within our partnerships, within our relationships, within the things that we find valuable. Also, being able to be in partnership without I guess sacrificing more so of who it is that you are. So really finding that freedom and being in that space of feeling accepted. So certain situations could surface on this day to show us where we are compromising our values and our originality for the sake of what we think things are supposed to look like. So that can come up. So certain structures and certain limitations that we've placed on how we relate to others, our partnering, our personal values, including our material possessions, because Venus not only rules partnerships, but it rules beauty and values, but also material possessions, our self-worth, our net worth. So maybe there are going to be some things that come up to the surface regarding our finances as well. All of these things could shift under this influence because of that Saturn and Aquarius energy. Is very unpredictable, but still very restrictive because Saturn wants to teach us lessons so that way we can become better. And it's about Aquarius, it's about the whole, it's about the community, it's about everyone involved. So we might have some experiences with our money feeling limited today or being limited, where we have like a strict budget or we're developing a strict budget because Venus rules our finances. So it's also best to avoid overspending or spending frivolously on this day because it could really have a negative turnout later on down the road. It's really a time to be responsible in our relationships and our finances and our careers and all of those other areas that we find valuable in our lives. So developing like a financial plan on this day is very beneficial, and it's going to help us feel liberated and free later on in the future. So putting a little bit more effort into our financial goals, our future dynamics of our partnerships and our relationships, even if it's not a relationship where it's intimate, it could be a business partnership. All of these things, really putting in a little bit more effort and becoming more disciplined in these dynamics while remaining in alignment to our values. These are all essential key things to really think about on this day. So, also on the 25th, we have quite a few things happening on the 25th. Right before the Scorpio full moon, we have also Mercury, which is in Taurus, squaring up with Saturn as well, also at 12 degrees. So, Mercury and Venus are in a conjunction. So this transit is going to assist us in thinking clearly and applying that mental work that's necessary to get those things done, especially with that Venus energy also squaring up to Saturn. So we're going to have the mental ability, the mental capacity to create new ideas and really put our mind to the structure that's necessary. So we might feel like it's best to work on like serious projects or things, or even work on like deals, signing deals and signing contracts. Might doing some things alone might be like the theme or the key that happens on this day, because the energy is really going to be favoring that. And so we should be very aware of the things that, not only that, how we're doing things and how we're actually initiating things and being able to come up with the ideas to get things done, but also what are we thinking? Because Mercury is about our mental capacities, it's our perceptions. Mercury is also our ideals. So when you have a square to Saturn, it could really bring up like pessimism in a sense. Negative thinking could come into play, altering our decisions. So be very aware of the thoughts that come up on this day. So you could feel challenged if you're having to negotiate a deal or having to negotiate something with someone, or have some type of discussion that might come up. It could be in contracts, could be business, it could be legal matters, all of those things. So it's really best when it comes to things that are legal, it's best to seek professional advice instead of just relying on your own logic, because you could be really seeing things like seeing the worst in the situation and not really seeing the full spectrum of what it really could be. So it's really important to really seek legal and professional help if that is something that you're needing, like within a business partnership, or just seek advice with someone who actually knows what they are talking about, someone who is skilled in the field. Like, just say if you have a disagreement or some type of discussion that comes up within your partnership. So maybe seeking help from someone who has been through the same experience, kind of like a lived experience thing, and seeking that advice from someone who has that wisdom. That's that Saturn energy. So alternatively, we could take some time alone from our close relationships. That includes friendships, because this transit is going to really promote us seeing the worst in situations. So instead of really like feeding that energy, just take a step back, and it's okay to like take a day to yourself and allow this energy to pass, so you can see things for what they truly are and allow it to pass on and move on to this next phase. So allowing that shift in our focus in order to learn something new, or maybe even refining your business ideas, or reading, revising some documents or something like that, that would help you kind of shift your focus in like the tense energy that could really be coming up on this day. So also, like I said before, Mercury and Venus are in this conjunction as well. And this is going to start at 12 degrees, but it's going to make an exact conjunction at 13 degrees. And so this energy is perfect for also like just expressing how it is that you feel. So not only is it, not only do we have the energy there to help us come up with these ideas and really see things clearly and be able to focus and kind of hone in on what is necessary to really pay attention to. And then we also have that discipline and the structure that's being applied with Venus squaring Saturn. But now we also have Mercury in a conjunction with Venus. So we are able to really speak what it is that we're feeling, but from a place of compassion, a very charming way, because that Venus energy. So we become fully aware of our relating experiences with our friends, with our loved ones, and all of everyone who's in our lives at this time, and be able to see all the things that we love about not only our loved ones, but about our lives in general. So on this day, it's really great for like writing a love note or singing a love song, creating something crafty or writing a piece of poetry, something like that. So if you're into like the artistic things, this energy is really going to help you tap into your mental capacities to write something beautiful or to create something beautiful. So this energy is also increasing our artistic and creative skills, especially the skills of hands as well as our vocals, because Mercury is that Gemini energy. So that's the skills of your hands. And then you have Venus there, that's the vocal energy. So, also, this is incredible energy for local trades of goods and services, and that includes farming because, you know, Venus rules the earth. So, we will likely find new friends on this day because there's that increased social interaction and that ease in our communication style during this time. We'll just be able to say how we feel and it will come out beautifully. Also, our confidence is amplified as well. So, we might be able to like sign those favorable business deals or really have those negotiations and they turn out favorable if we seek the legal advice or if we seek the advice from someone who has lived and experienced. It will turn out favorable if we are actually, you know, paying attention, being disciplined and ordered in what it is that we are seeking to do. So this is wonderful energy for like doing something within the realms of like public speaking, because whatever message that you convey will be well received on this day. So that is like the energy starting off the week. And then on the very next day, April 26th, we have this full moon that happens at 7 degrees in Scorpio. So this is that intense energy. It's a super full moon. So it's going to be really close to the earth. So we're going to be feeling all of the energy of this Scorpio full moon. And it's at 7 degrees. So with this is signifying our inner wisdom, our mysticism, and our intuition. So we all know that full moons are about releasing things, and full moons tend to pull things out of us that are typically kept hidden in our shadows, right? So being able to illuminate what's in our shadows in order to release the things that are no longer necessary, right? These things that have been buried that no longer serves our highest good. So keeping that in mind, and it's a Scorpio energy, so some things might actually be reborn, so or brought back from the dead, kind of like a rebirthing, you know. And that's that Scorpio energy. It's all about regeneration. It's about um you know, rebirth, transformation. So nonetheless, the full moon in Scorpio is very intense, as I said before, and this is because it's representing the death and the rebirth. So something is dying in order for something to be born, or even something is completely being let go and released because it is no longer needed. And so this is more so in a alignment to being able to release things, including resistance. So if we are resisting to change, we are going to be releasing that as well. So the moon will surface all of those themes of trust and control and power struggles and secrets back from the dead that we thought that we were burying and we were really hiding and covering up. Scorpio rules regeneration, rebirth, death, transformation, and all those other taboo themes, including like occult energies and whatnot that we don't really like to discuss. So, being in this space where our challenge is to release resistance to change and to understand that we overcome limitations by remaining open to the continuous adaptation of regeneration, which is change. The only constant in life is change. So that's what this moon is really bringing up to the surface for us, is that we, in some area of our life, we are resisting the need to change. We are resisting that growth that's necessary. And so this moon is going to be illuminating certain situations. There might be some circumstances that come to the surface, or even some mindsets or something that that's being highlighted to where it's like, okay, you know what, I need to change this, or I really need to shift into that. And it's going to help you really be able to release whatever it is that is holding you back from growth and expansion. So this full moon also is going to be making that square to Saturn in Aquarius. And this is happening while the sun, Mercury, Venus, and Uranus are all in Taurus. Not to mention dark moon Lilith is in Taurus as well. And so all of these are in a close conjunction in the sign of Taurus. So this energy could really highlight disruptions, or even like drastic and unexpected changes within our economy, within our material possessions, our relationships, our perceptions, and the world around us in general. So be very aware that there could be some secret surfacing, whether you see it in social media, you see it in the media in general, or within your personal life, or within your community. There could be some secret surfacing, something that's going to be providing shocking news, or some type of information that's going to shift our perception, or change our finances, or maybe transition some type of relationships and even some ideals under the influence of this moon. Is just going to happen because it's just that intense, especially making that square to Saturn in Aquarius. So this shocking revelation that might occur for us, however it happens in our lives, but overall as a collective, we are going to see something in the world. So there's going to be some type of shocking revelation that occurs to help us to release whatever it is that has restrained us, and help us to actually remain open to the change that's coming. So this is really liberating. Not necessarily to like be afraid of it, but just know that it's going to be something very deep, very strong and intense that comes up. So we are supposed to just kind of flow with it. Everything that is happening for us. Nothing is happening to us. So right after we have this intense full moon in Scorpio, we have more of that Scorpio energy, right? Because Pluto, which has been in Capricorn, is at its last few degrees in Capricorn, and it's going to be stationed in retrograde at 26 degrees. This starts April 27th, and this retrograde period will last all the way through October 6th of 2021. So about 5 months or so, we're going to have Pluto retrograde, and it's always a time to reflect on those power struggles and those fears and those obsessions and those secrets and the deceit that's currently happening in our lives. So we are going to even see more so all of these things coming up to the surface. And Pluto is the ruling planet of Scorpio. So just having a Scorpio full moon, and now we're having Pluto going retrograde. So whatever comes up to the surface on this moon, we're going to go into this review period for retribution, right? Regeneration during this Pluto retrograde over the next 5 months. So things tend to come to the surface, so we can recognize them first and foremost. Then we can remove them, and then we can allow the retribution wherever it's needed, wherever it happens in our lives. So wherever we have been giving our power away, or we have been allowing manipulation and deceit to trick us into allowing others or situations or hierarchies to control us, this transit is going to allow all of that to be released. So Pluto rules karma. It also rules fate. So we can expect to have like these inescapable experiences that come up to the surface, like they're fated basically. And that's so we can be shown where these repeated themes of control and compulsive habits are in our lives. And it's necessary to eliminate these things in order for us to grow and expand and actually embark on that new journey, that new life that we are all creating right now. So this energy is highly detoxifying, because that's how we are going to feel like we are detoxing for the next 5 months. And this is going to be detoxing anything that has poisoned our psyches, because that's that Pluto, that's also that Scorpio energy that has poisoned our lives, the structures, the everything that we have built. All of those things that are poisonous to the foundation that we are really building, or that we have built, is going to be removed. So this is going to help us really tap into our spiritual power and allow that spiritual power to increase to where we can make really confident, sound decisions moving forward. So moving on towards the end of the month, we have On the 29th, Mercury is in Taurus and is making a sextile to Neptune in Pisces at 22 degrees. So this is occurring after all of that heavy Scorpio and Pluto energy. So this transit is really excellent for relaxing. So we get to kind of like chill out a little bit. Really great for communicating, writing, being creative, really diving into what it is that you're feeling, what it is that you're experiencing. So I encourage you to journal about whatever is coming up, whatever you are experiencing with this heavy energy that we're experiencing at the beginning of the week. And so diving into the areas of like our creativity and balancing our life with spiritual practices, that's going to be really favorable on this day. Mercury represents our skilled abilities, while Neptune is our creativity and our spirituality. So we can dive into painting, poetry, and other creative pursuits like journaling and, writing, singing, cinema, even because that's a Neptune and Pisces thing. So going to the movies or creating some type of movie or short film or something like that, if that's something you are working on, this energy is going to be more supportive of that. So our relationships on this day will benefit from our compassionate nature that we are really going to be amplifying, especially within the ways that we communicate our feelings. And so we are likely to receive really great information through vivid dreams and through meditation, possible yoga. You might receive some information or just some insight or some aha moments, especially on this day. So, last but not least, wrapping up April, this is the last thing that's happening on the 30th. The sun in Taurus is going to be making a conjunction to Uranus at 10 degrees. So, the sun is our self-expression, it's our personality. And making a conjunction with Uranus, and Uranus is unexpected and it's eccentric. This is going to give us a bit of flair, within our creativity and how we express ourselves. Also, just being very confident, kind of quirky and just different, being the original individual that we all are. So if you are looking to stand out from the crowd, today will assist you in this goal, especially if you are in the public eye or you're really trying to amplify your public image or your career. So today, on this day, April 30th, is a wonderful time to really embrace the excitement and the change, and allow us to have the courage to do something different that's out of the ordinary in order for us to be seen different. So if you typically follow like a strict schedule or do something completely mundane, you're likely to feel a strong need to break free from those mundane routines of life and just be downright different and eccentric. This transit is also going to help elevate our consciousness because Uranus is that godlike energy, that godlike knowledge. So elevate our consciousness to provide a greater sense of self-awareness, open-mindedness, and also encourage originality. So it's a great day to connect with like large groups, large organizations, nonprofit, philanthropy, because that's that Uranus energy. And also, if you are like someone who has like a large organization or you are a part of an organization that has some type of care for the world or the earth, in a sense, maybe farming on this day, that's going to be something very beneficial as well. Also, this is great for networking and creating new friendships. So pay attention to the unexpected occurrences that are happening on this day because these are synchronistic events to help us break free and liberate ourselves. So all of these things, like these faded kind of energies, are going to be happening towards the end of the month, especially with Pluto being in retrograde. So keep that in mind. And that is all that I have for Galactic Gossip. I really do hope y'all have a wonderful week. Make sure that you are just really taking your time with the heavy energy that kind of comes from the beginning of the week with the Scorpio full moon. Make sure you are releasing whatever it is that you need to release. If you need to do like a fire ceremony, all those things, write out what you are releasing and set it ablaze and put it in the wind. When Pluto goes retrograde, just make sure you're paying attention to what's actually coming up over the next 5 months, because these things are coming up to the surface so we can all release and shift and just get in alignment. So I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful week. I hope y'all have a great one. See you next time.